Hey, Pat The Pauper here. Just hanging out, doing a little bit of a chat today. I didn't want to wait until Saturday to talk with Bob and Matt for a while. I just had to get some of this stuff off my chest. Just so darn excited. Dominaria Remastered spoilers are actually just finishing up today. Seems as though they decided to do just a 2 day spoiler season. More like a spoiler work week? Not even. That's pretty cool. This is, I think, really the first time that they've done this. Just get it all out there, do it all at once. I watched hour-long thing from Weekly MTG yesterday with Dr. Blake Rasmussen. Yeah, whatever. So I don't know why Wizards is getting so much hate lately. Even in their stream, they were pretty forward about saying, yeah, we're listening to what people are talking about in the community. It's nice to see that that's actually getting picked up. And don't get me wrong, I honestly think Wizards has really been paying attention to the Magic the Gathering community for a long, long time. It's just that now they have to say that they're doing it. They have to do that little bit of virtue signaling to let everybody know that they're paying attention, and it's whatever as far as that goes. I'm just happy to see that there are changes currently for Magic. They Blake was saying in their cast there that they're going to be pushing back Phyrexia, All Will Be One, by a week or so, and they've got so much in line already. They've not said directly, but I think one of the reasons is behind the scenes, they have only got so much printer availability. There's only so much time to get these cards on track to get them out. So, yeah, they have to have stuff set up for these 3 weeks of this month. I want you to print these cards. Here's the file for these weeks here. Here's this file. We want this many of this kind and so many of this kind. We want X of Y and we want Y out of Z. So, yeah, it makes sense. There's a whole lot logistically behind the scenes that people just aren't seeing. So, I get that. Give them a whole lot of credit. I work a job that has inventory issues because we make our own product. So, if one part of the chain is messed up, the rest of it is too. So, give them some credit there. Give them a lot of leeway. It's difficult running a business like that. Now, one of the things that I really think is interesting is that they've said this is going to have a larger release than Time Spiral Remastered, which is, I think, one of the two most comparable products to this. And in that, I mean that I think Dominaria Remastered is closest to both Time Spiral Remastered and Double Masters 22. All three of these are reprint sets. Now, similar to Time Spiral Remastered, this is a specific set of cards. They all are, aren't they? Duh. But this set of cards is thematically brought from the 27 different sets that feature Dominaria. So, Dominaria originally, of course. You've also got Odyssey, Onslaught. They're pulling cards from all sorts of different eras of Magic's history, which is incredible. Good and bad. I'll get to the bad part here in just a bit. So, one of the great things is this is a chance for really out of nowhere reprints, like we're seeing with Hunting Grounds. There's only one printing of that card ever. So, yeah, of course, the thing's not exactly cheap. But you're also getting reprints of newer cards like Urza, Lord High Artificer. So, you're getting really high value stuff. And I mean value not just in a monetary sense, of course, also monetary sense in that part, but quality cards that are worthwhile. And Time Spiral Remastered, they had great quality in those cards. And I mean actual printing quality. The time shifted foils, spot on, didn't curl a bit. Really good stuff there. And I think that the larger release of this product versus Time Spiral Remastered is going to be really good for this set. That it will get into more people's hands, but I don't want it to end up like a lot of other sets where there is so much availability. And that's where I worry it's going to be more like Double Masters 22, where it's full of banger stuff, really good, powerful cards, stuff that you just haven't seen before in these variants as well, which we'll be seeing some of in this set. But with Double Masters 22, it's still available. You can still go get it right now at almost the same price it came out at, which is pretty freaking crazy. And Time Spout Remastered as well. Heck, after they finally got that big shipping container out of the Suez Canal or whatever it was, the world trade started kind of picking back up, and now those boxes are just barely over what they were at release. Almost a year and a half later, it seems. And actually, that's a good point. This is a year and a half, almost 2 years later. I'd have to check and see exactly when, but almost 2 years is about the reprint cycle for Double Masters for Masters products. So we saw Double Masters 22 come out about 2 years after the original Double Masters. So a lot of interesting correlations here, things that are similar. And like the Double Masters 22 product, this Dominaria Remastered will have a lot of new versions of cards, like we're seeing with Mystic Remora. Personally, one of my absolute favorites. I hate to see it reprinted because I got a whole grip of them over here. I don't want them to lose any value. But because we are seeing it in a new, crazy, awesome borderless version, those original cards might actually hold some value. This is one of the things Ed talks about a lot on Dual Brain, is that you can have cards get reprinted, but because it's bringing eyes to those cards, the originals, they might actually gain traction because no one's ever seen them before. Shit, Hunting Grounds is a great version of that. I didn't know that was a card. Too high level for me, I guess. But now, oh shit, now I know that's a card. Some people might actually reach out and grab that. I've been building up a Trellisara deck, and boy, that would fit right in. Maybe not with my pod, but somewheres. And back to Dominaria Remastered. One of the things I'm really looking forward to in this set, since I've got a pretty solid amount of it coming, put my pre-order in August, so I got market basement prices at the time, and now to see it's almost doubled since what I had bought it at, it's pretty great. One of the things I want to do with it when it comes in is draft it. It's actually a 36 pack draft boxes, so you can go ahead, crack that with a whole bunch of friends. It seems like it should be a great time. You've got really playable cards from some of the first earliest sets out of Magic. I think that's actually something Blake had talked about, is that the Giant Spider was, I think, the most reprinted card he had said. Well, it's getting printed again. But drafting this with a bunch of my friends, they previewed a large quantity of different themes in the draft archetype. So it seems as though we're going to be getting cards and strategies and play styles from multiple decades of Magic the Gathering. So this seems like it's going to be a pretty fun set. And a lot of people are probably worried right now, oh, wallet fatigue. Oh, I've spent so much money. Oh, I can only buy the stuff I want. Yeah, duh, you silly, silly people. Only buy the stuff you want. You don't go to the grocery store and buy everything. You only get the stuff that you need. Maybe it's the things you want on top of it. It's a lot like Magic. Shit, Rudy, love you, buddy, but you've been talking so much crap about, oh, they say only engage with the product that's for you. Well, you don't sell everything. You're not going to ever sell starter commander decks. You never were. Now there's a whole lot of different things that you don't sell over it. So shut your Floridian mouth, you basement dweller. And back to Dominaria Remastered, I think that it's similar in the way that Time Spout Remastered only had their regular cards, their retro cards, and some foils. This one is going to be the regular, the retro, and your borderless, and that's it. You're getting foilings of those three. They're not going all sorts of crazy with it. You're not getting these gilded foils. You're not getting your theme art. You're not getting your art cards. They're not doing all this bullshit with it. I think it's going to be kind of slimmed down, which is probably one of the reasons they jam-packed all these crazy cards in it. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. But the collector's packs are actually built a lot like the Masters products. So the collector's packs, you're getting 3 or 4 rares or higher. You're getting your borderless cards in it. It's kind of like those crazy VIP packs or those adorably attractive silver and black cards from the Double Masters 22 collector. It's it seems like it's checking off a whole lot of boxes for me. One of the big things that it's checking off in the negative side, price. The collector's box, even when I got it pre-ordered 4 months ago at this point, was still over $200. I think it was 230. I got my pre-orders in on the collectors. The draft box is almost 250 now. I got like $100 cheaper. Whatever. So you got your pros and your cons, but my pros are just really filling up right now. One of the cons, let's put some weight on that side of the scale. There's a lot of rares in this set, a whole lot of rares. And like I said, in those collector packs, they're going to have 3 or 4 spots of rares or mythics. They got a lot of rares, just like Double Masters 22. So, are you going to get screwed opening these packs if you're looking for value in price for your rare slots? They got so much garbage in there, just like the Masters products. So, you might have to be wary on that. Things are evening out a little bit. But then we go back to how crazy some of these cards are. I got a list here to read off just a couple of them for you, okay? We got Force of Will, Enlightened Tutor, Mystical Tutor, Vampiric Tutor. You got that Mystic Remora, Urza, High Artificer, Exploration, Sylvan Library. Like I said, just a few. But that list goes on and on. There's going to be a lot of good gets out of that. I can't get another alliteration there. There's going to be some pretty crazy cards in this. Some really playable stuff because they're choosing great cards. They're also choosing some kind of filler stuff. So you might have to be careful. But if you're looking for singles, this is always a great option. Reprint sets really refill the coffers for TCG Player, Card Kingdom, the whole lot. You'll see a lot of cards come back onto the market. Really edge off some of the prices that have been spiking up. So I think for everybody, whether you're buying the product, into the product sealed, buying things coming out of the product, I just hope that you get to enjoy it as much as I do. As we get closer and closer to it, we'll talk a bit more. But until then, Pat the Pauper here. Check you later, okay?